society doesn't always give us as much agency as we want, and we are still entitled to it. And yes, I always believed the genders should be equal and stuff, but it was really going through life that taught me, like, no, this is imperative and it's really important for all women.
I'm Amy.
I'm April.
Certified sex educators, sexperts of the year, and best-selling authors.
And we're on a mission to help you have more spicy, connected, and amazing shameless sex. Welcome to the Shameless Sex Revolution.
We're so close, it's like we have our own language. We're making sex and relationships shameless.
To learn more, go to shamelesssex.com.
And for 15% off some of our favorite sex toys, use code SHAMELESSSEX at purepleasureshop.com.
You were listening to a Pleasure Podcast. For more from our sex podcast collective, visit pleasurepodcasts.com.
Well, hello, everyone.
Hi, everybody.
Welcome back to the Shameless Sex Podcast. Are you ready to get wild, Chip?
I think so. I'm ready to be a girl gone wild.
You are a woman gone wild.
I could be a girl gone wild, too.
You are all of the above. You are, yes. And you were definitely wild. There's no doubt about that one.
You
and
are
all
too.
the best.
Yeah,
I know.
you are too, yeah.
Shake and bake. So this episode.
Show me your tits.
Yeah, show me your tits. I actually went. So, okay, this episode is with Courtney Kocak, and she has the Private Parts Unknown podcast. She just wrote a book that is coming out in April of 2026 called Girl Gone Wild. And so stay tuned. And she talked about her journey there and how she used to sell t-shirts for Girls Gone Wild. Do you remember
in the 90s?
Do you remember girls jumping on trampolines?
Was
like
it a show?
I think it was like Adam Carolla. It's like post Love Line.
What was it? The man? Didn't he have the man
Yes.
show? The man show.
It was on there.
It was
Yeah.
on, which was, I think it was on MTV. I might be wrong, but
Yeah.
the man show. And I think Dr. Drew was on as well at times, if I recall. And he was on Dr. Drew was on Loveline.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
Bring it
that's
way back, Amy. Wow.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking when it was the show me your tits, but I was thinking girls jumping on trampolines, and it was this like, oh, this is stressful, but anyways, girls jumping on trampolines, and then be a little clip of like women on trampolines.
It kind of reminds me of Idiocracy, where you never get up and you wear Crocs all day and you just like, get out of here, I'm baiting.
Yeah, exactly. So it's all kind of actually really happening.
It is happening.
This episode is not about that. It's not about Girls Gone Wild, the show, although Courtney does talk about that because, she was selling t-shirts there. This is a memoir that she recently wrote, and as I said, will be out in April. And she talks
you
about...
need to pre-order them.
Yes.
Pre-order
this. Yes. And she talks all about her journey from the early years to her 20s, and there's some trials and tribulations, some hardship, and then also the idea of too muchness, not enoughness. How do you deal with that? I think most humans can relate to that in some capacity, whether it's in this moment in your past or in your future. I feel like everyone at some point will feel like they're not enough or too much.
Also, just to premise this conversation that we had with her, this is a fun conversation. She talks about some of the hard stuff, but there was a lot of fun stuff. And
It's
her
hilarious.
self-discovery journey. Also, a memoir is one of the best forms of entertainment. I love reading a memoir because you just dive into someone's personal experiences, and she's an incredible writer.
Well, and she's also talking about sex, so it's even more juicy. I mean, she actually shares in the show about getting a happy ending in Japan, and I won't give you details about that, but stay tuned
was
to
so
hear
entertaining.
about that.
Yeah.
So, without further ado, we're not diving. Actually, no, we're just going to a sex question.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I think so. I'm closing my eyes and listening.
It's like as if I wrote this, but this is not me. But it starts with I'm a 42-year-old woman. I'm turning 41 in 4 days or 3 days.
Well, this episode airs and you'll already be 41.
Hey, it's my birthday.
So you didn't write this question into us?
I did not.
Okay,
No.
all right. I'm listening.
No.
Okay.
Yes, I'm not recently
You've
divorced
never done
either.
that. You have never done that.
Wait.
Write a question into us.
No.
To see if I could scope out.
Oh,
if it
like
was,
if this
you
is
wrote
me?
it. We should do that once to be like, did you write this?
Me testing you.
Yeah.
Like people who do that in relationships to just like, and that never goes well, by the way.
I'm going to get a fake email and write you and see if you know it's me.
Oh.
I'll be like, hey.
You know me so well that I would be like, we need to answer this.
Right.
You bitch.
This will be another, maybe we should do this as a side project.
All right.
Okay.
Now other people are going to do that. You already said this. Okay.
All right.
Ready for the question?
Yes.
This is not written by Amy. I'm a 42-year-old woman, recently divorced, and I'm trying to find myself all over again. Is there some type of format for an eat, pray, love journey that is specifically for sex and possibly dating or being in a relationship again in the future? I know it all starts with me, but I'd really love some guidance about how to get started.
But this is a great question.
This is perfect for this episode
So
too.
great. I love this question.
Yeah.
Brad, I love it.
Yeah. Well, and with what April said, I don't know if this is where you were going with this, but shake and bake to you wanting to go on this journey with or for yourself. I think that's awesome. A lot of people don't choose themselves during hardship or breakups or hard times, right? It's more of a codependent space or hiding yourself or shutting down or whatever that is, as opposed to like, how can I go on this that may be beautiful, but like imperfect, exciting, crazy, wild journey with myself that is a little, I'm thinking like Eat, Pray, Love on erotic steroids.
And you don't even have to be a woman to go on this journey. There's plenty of other people out there that suffer from the post-divorce, post-breakup, the loneliness, those feelings of, oh, am I ever going to meet someone? What do I do now?
Or who am I now?
Who am I now?
Yeah.
If they identified most times during their partnership with their partner, and now they feel like they're at a loss without them.
Yeah.
It's a time for self-discovery.
Yeah.
And doing fun shit.
And I think most people, and actually one of the little tips we'll give you is go and listen to episode 456 of 456. Yeah, we have that many episodes. It's called The Breakup and Single Life Survival Guide with Medina Monroe. She's from the Cocktails podcast. And this episode, I remember, do you remember recording this? That it was super long because she had so many interesting things to say. And she goes on a eat, pray, love journey. But part of that was choosing to really close off from the world, from dating, really go into this place of self-discovery and of tending herself. And a lot of it had to deal with really allowing the pain to be there for a while. And then you can open up to like the funsies and the excitement, the explorations and the journeys. And that in itself is its own journey, right? Like letting the pain and the sadness and sorrow. And this person's not even saying they're super sad. I'm not even here. Actually, the way they wrote this, it doesn't sound like they're in devastation mode. Maybe they've already moved beyond the like, wow, this is a big difference from where I was before. This is super devastating. And now they're ready for Eat, Pray, Love.
So Eat, Pray, Love came out. I don't remember when it came out, but I remember you and I were on an airplane to Singapore when the movie came out.
We were going to Bali. That's why we were.
Right, but we
really
stopped in
out.
Singapore, remember? Yeah. And I had just read it and I was watching this on the plane and I remember thinking, it wasn't an easy time to do an Eat, Pray, Love journey back then. Yeah. And now in this day and age, there's so many, and we're going to probably get to some of the solutions, but there's so many more opportunities to do some self-discovery that's safer, especially in a sexual wellness realm, because there's how many media channels that have said this is since 2024, 2025, post-COVID, it's like the age of sexual wellness, trending travel. So you can go and do these, and we've done our retreats, which a lot of folks come in after post relationships. Yeah. Because we've done all women's retreats. What do I do? Yeah. And I feel like this question's amazing because right now is the time. And Medina did this as well. And she's hosting retreats, but like, that's not even what this is about. I love this question. Yeah.
So go listen to that episode 456 again, The Breakup and Single Life Survival Guide with Medina Monroe. It's on Shameless Sex. It's wherever you listen to our podcast. You can go and listen to that. And in that, you'll hear her say it's really important in the initial stages. And even when you go into the fun journey of Eat, Pray, Love, you're traveling or going to a retreat, or we'll talk about some sexy cruises that could be up your alley. You're still really focusing on yourself because it's not that everyone loses themselves in relationships. And when that relationship ends, as April said, a lot of people are in the space of trying to discover who they are again. So maybe also spending some time discovering your body. And this is masturbation. You might already understand your body. You might be like, I already have a masturbation practice, or you don't call it a practice. I know how to do this. But you are in a different place than you were before. So why not take more time to understand who you are now, what your body wants, what your body likes, aside from this person that you were with before and, with who you are now. And you can do this all the time, even in a relationship. And if you don't know where to start to rediscover your body and your sexuality, we love omgyes.com. You've heard us talk about OMGYes so many times. We're obsessed with OMGYes. They have 3 seasons. The first season is external pleasure on vulvas. The second season is internal pleasure. Third season is sex toys. And it's tasteful. It's not a subscription. It's not porn. It's research-based.
Yes.
And you see these videos and they have all these modules where you can learn about ideas on how to understand it and discover your body. And I think anyone of all ages, regardless of where you are in relationship or not, could learn so much from this. So go to omgs.com. If you do omgs.com/shameless, I believe you get a little discount too.
Yeah, and all of the seasons.
It's so good.
It's forever. It's a green access. So you don't have to continuously pay.
And then when you start dating, you have information. Here's what I know I like.
Let's watch together.
Don't work with the old one information.
Send them
the new
swirling
stuff.
technique.
Yeah.
Like, I like this one. So we talked about this, the sexual wellness, travel and tourism in a sense. And we are going to be on this cruise, which is this, we learned about Killing Kittens on an episode with Emma Sale. And Killing Kittens it's basically like they host these parties all over that help empower people to be in their most sexually empowered selves.
And it's female led, meaning it's all the genders get good, it feels really good for everyone, but female led meaning it's not just for male pleasure or male gaze, which is a lot of like swinger world and sex world.
Or not just females only either.
Yeah, exactly.
It's for couples.
It's everyone.
And so we are going to be in Europe, and this is June 2026, Barcelona, Florence, Mallorca, Monte Carlo. Amy and I are going to be on the boat with our partners, teaching some classes and enjoying all the festivities, because they're like, we want you to have fun as well. And I want to tell you that, Amy, you're more, I feel like, in the world of sex parties, and I'm not. And so I get freaked out, and I was like, I don't know if I could be on. And it's not. I was like comforted to know it's not sex parties.
Yes,
it is what you want. It's not a sex cruise.
It's like beach club vibes with like an erotic twist. You're learning, you're engaging. Like eroticism is not hidden from it. It's not just like, hey, I like to party. It's like we're all here to learn about sex and relationships and be free, but it's not an orgy.
And it's glamorous.
Yes,
and you're going to Barcelona, Florence, Mallorca, Monte Carlo, and at Portofino.
Mm-hmm.
And
so why not you pray love that do that with
that's what I'm saying. This is perfect.
It's like designed for this.
It's going to change your life, and we're going to be on the show, so I can't wait. I mean, on the cruise,
and the
show, and you go to shamelesssex.com, and you can use. We have an affiliate access, so you can check out. They don't have a lot of rooms left.
I know it's selling out, and also if you just go to the show notes, link in the show notes, you can learn more about it. And this applies to this human, right? If you want to go eat, pray, love, why not do it on a 6-night cruise in June in the Mediterranean? And you are going to leave that. You will really understand yourself and probably be more alive and tapped into your sexuality and beyond. And then for your everyday human or couples, or whether you're non-binary or trans, this also is open up to you, and we will be there. It will be amazing. I'm so excited.
With our partners.
Yes.
My partner's never been debuted at a Shameless Sex anything before.
Has your partner never been on a cruise?
No. This will be his first.
Get on the boat.
It's not like one of the mainstream cruises. It's a smaller cruise ship. Everybody.
I'm so excited.
It's not going to be this massive.
April's going to be leading some sexy murder mystery things.
Yeah,
murder mystery dinners.
You're going to be leading some fun classes too. And we'll be doing some things together. Yeah. Okay. So are you ready? I can't wait, Amy. Yes. So are you ready for the bio for Courtney? Okay.
Get me wild.
Courtney Kocak is a writer, podcaster, and comedian who wrote for Amazon's Emmy-winning animated series Danger and Eggs and Netflix's Know It All. She's produced a slew of highly ranked podcasts and currently hosts 3 of her own, including Private Parts Unknown. As a writer, her bylines include the New York Times, the Washington Post, LA Times, Slate, and Huffington Post. Her debut memoir, Girl Gone Wild, is out April 1st, 2026. Go pre-order it now. To learn more about Courtney, visit CourtneyKocak.com.
All right, everyone, it is interview time, and we are here with repeat guests, although I do not recall when Courtney was on our show. I think it was like the first 100 episodes for the first time, at least. We may have done 2 runs on you. Yeah, I'm doing that intentionally with you on you. And now Courtney is back. Courtney Kocak. Am I saying that right? Kocak? Kocak. Even better. Kocak. Kocak is here. She recently wrote the book. She wrote the book and it won't be out until April 2026. Girl Gone Wild. And we love everything that Courtney does. She also has the Private Parts Unknown podcast. She is a storyteller and educator. She does just so many things. So without me trying to explain Courtney in a nutsack shell,
in a Kocak shell?
Yeah, Kocak shell. Courtney, can you please tell us and our listeners a little more about how you got to the field of sexuality, and how did someone go from selling t-shirts at the Girls Gone Wild tour And if our listeners don't know what that is, can you please tell them what that is? To writing a book called Girl Gone Wild.
Oh my God. Okay. First of all, thank you so much for having me back. That was eons ago. Almost a decade since you guys first started your show. How I got into sexuality was really, I think, to try to work through a lot of my own shame, kind of similar to y'all's journey. Is I had some experiences in my early 20s. I sold t-shirts on the Girls Gone Wild tour. I got raped a couple times, as you do. I had an abortion, just like a traumatic couple years. And I think even though I didn't go right to sex podcasting, eventually those experiences were what really made me want to have the conversations that I have on Private Parts Unknown and explore the topics that I did in my book. So in a strange way, I'm kind of grateful for my early 20s trauma. But yeah, the Girls Gone Wild tour, whoa, this was such a cultural moment.
I remember it when it was happening. I remember this whole thing. It was a long time ago. Yeah.
This is very our era. They would play infomercials on cable TV and they were kind of inescapable. And the thing about it was, it seemed kind of tame because, on the infomercials, the boobs were censored and they had this playful steel drum music and politicians like John Kerry were making jokes. It was a cultural joke that everyone was in on it. But really behind it was this exploitation and porn. And I'm all about porn, but I'm about consensual, creator-driven porn, not porn where you go and try to get drunk girls to sign contracts and do things that they really didn't mean to do. They were just trying to go out and have a good time. So I got a job. I was just broke trying to be an actress. I moved to LA. I didn't know how to get started. LA is if you're from the Midwest and you don't know what's going on, it's a really hard place to get started. And so I just was broke and needed a job. And they had this Craigslist ad for Mantra Entertainment, which is the company behind Girls Gone Wild. And it was do you want to get paid to party? And I was yeah. And so I went for this interview. And the next thing I knew, I was on a plane going to Vancouver. And I was on the tour for 7 weeks. But really, it was a traumatic experience by the end that I didn't even have words for at the time. But I just saw kind of a microcosm for how society thinks of women and treats women, especially young women. And it was life-altering.
Mm-hmm.
Shit, man. What a time on planet Earth, the 90s were. Between the Epstein files and Girls Gone Wild. There's just some things. I'm happy that it's being exposed. And I think your book, which we haven't been able to read it yet because it's not out yet when we're recording this podcast, it'll be out in April 2026, y'all. And I think that you're an incredible writer. And we've worked with you before, and we know you from our podcast family and respect your work very much. It's it's journalistic meets entertainment meets these memoir pieces. You share yourself in a way that I think is so creative and unique and open, but yet heavy, traumatic shit that you don't minimize it. You shed light on it, but you do it in this beautifully authentic way that's very Courtney. And it helps calm people's nerves and talk openly about their own experiences that can be traumatic or are traumatic and they have shame around. So thank you for what you're doing. And before we dive into this deeper, the Girl Gone Wild book that's coming out, love to talk about Private Parts Unknown. I have friends that are have you ever heard of Private Parts Unknown? And I'm yeah, she's family to us. Yeah, Courtney's amazing from the Midwest. So for the newbies though, that maybe haven't heard of your show, can you talk about your podcast? Tell us all a little bit more about it. And maybe if you want to dive into one of the more wild stories from your sexy travels, and we can get that rip that Band-Aid off of the Girl Gone Wild journey or fiasco or whatever you want to call it.
Yes. Also, I just want to say in the book, there's a squirting essay. There's fun stuff too. It's not just trauma. But yeah, Private Parts Unknown, I started the podcast as Reality Bites way back in 2016 when I was a frustrated dater, just like struggling through Tinder, trying to find my person. And it's really been with me as I've evolved over the last 10 years, which is kind of cool to have this audio archive of yourself. I started it with my best friend at the time, and then it's gone through other iterations. And its current version, I have really great conversations with a wide spectrum of people covering all kinds of topics, porn topics, abortion, relationship dynamics, all kinds of things. But my favorite episodes are when we have gone traveling. We went to Helsinki, Tokyo, Mexico City. I've got a series coming out about Belize. And in Tokyo, one of the guests that we were interviewing was like, dared us basically to get a happy ending massage. And I had dabbled in sex work like as a provider, but I had not been on the other side of the equation before. And so I got permission from my now husband, and he was very cool about it. And, it's like sexy too. You're in Tokyo. It just feels like a whole vibe. And so we went to this like S&M bar first and got way too drunk. And then went back for our appointment at this. It was at our hotel room. But it was so fun. And honestly, that experience shifted my whole idea of like pleasure. I don't think women's pleasure is centered that often in sexual experiences. And it was so unique to be paying for this. And so it was like 150% about my pleasure. And so that was such a like altering experience of like, oh, wow. And, I also got to experience how much like intimacy and care is involved in those dynamics, and I just loved it. So that is maybe my favorite episode ever.
Could you paint we're not focusing this episode on the happy ending, and can you just paint it a little bit more? Was it like a male practitioner, female practitioner?
Yes,
only
it was a
hands?
It was a male practitioner. He was a beautiful specimen, looked like he was in a K-pop band or something. And yeah, you show up. I didn't know the whole protocol. So you both take a shower at the beginning.
Together or separate?
Separate.
Okay. Together's it.
That is a good question.
Wondering. Nice to meet you in the shower.
Can I wash your back?
Yeah.
Then he dumps out his like bag it was like a little gift bag with sex toys in it. And across the spectrum, and also hands, and like it was a little bit of a regular massage, but like that wasn't the primary focus. Mm-hmm. And then, the different toys were involved. They also have this like kissing on your body technique that's like a butterfly kiss kind of a deal.
It's a Japanese thing? What?
I don't know. This might be their specific company that's like, this is our move.
Yeah, next time I see you in person, you have to show us on hands, not on my pussy. Sorry,
he didn't do it on my pussy either.
Oh, okay,
on my body.
I got it.
Still felt great. And honestly, I probably shouldn't say this, but I could have got a freebie from this.
What?
From this guy was DTF.
Oh,
I was like, I didn't
bake.
actually get permission for that, but.
Oh, he was down across his own boundaries, or like he didn't even have boundaries.
He was like happy to go there, but I was like, let's just keep it at the regular deal.
So you were a big tipper, I assume.
I actually don't remember how the money situation
was exchanged. Girl.
It was, I was in another currency even. I didn't know what was going on. I think actually Sophia handled that part of it. But yeah. It was just incredible. It's called home delivery health is I think what they call this.
That sounds so like better. Sorry, I won't say it actually. Like all the online health things that we have in the US
totally.
Now.
I think it's supposed to skate under the legality, it makes it sound kind of like it is a health service. But you know, it's like Uber Eats for a happy ending massage, which is incredible.
I'm just not say it, but I'm like Uber Eats. Okay.
Right.
All right. So question. So from this, and this is not just like from this experience. This is not just from the Star of Private's part unknown to writing this book. But you have become the perspective of your book, your memoir, Girl Gone Wild, is you're an unwitting feminist. And I'm super curious. I feel like what the story you just shared kind of has something to do with this. But can you tell us what that means to you?
Yes, that's a really good question. So I feel like I might have claimed that word growing up, or like I might have been annoyed by my dad talking shit about feminists or something growing up, but like I wasn't like I'm a feminist. What happened is that life happened to me, and I had sexual assault experiences, and I never thought I would be a person that would get an abortion, and then I was that person. And I was very happy with my decision. And I was trying to make it in Hollywood, and there was like 1,000 experiences that were just constantly reinforcing that like society doesn't always give us as much agency as we want, and we are still entitled to it. And so now I'm a full-throated feminist. And it wasn't something that I don't know. I just, yes, I always believed the genders should be equal and stuff, but it was really going through life that taught me like, no, this is imperative, and it's really important for all women.
I like that, unwitting feminist. And feminist, it used to have almost this negative connotation, I think, through the 60s, like the burning bras and, fuck the men or the patriarchy. And I think it's taken
bitches.
A turn. Right. Where people are more proud to be feminist, or there's not as much of this, maybe this, I don't know, the negativity that shrouds the word feminism now. And I think unwitting feminist is a great way to put that it's sort of an easier thing to digest for those folks that maybe still are triggered by the word feminist. Like, brings me back.
Man haters.
I know. Mid-roll time lovers. Quick question for you. Is your grand finale more drizzle than downpour?
If your encore needs an upgrade, meet Load Boost from VB Health. VB Health has a simple mission: create supplements that work. And this one, well, it works.
Doctor formulated by U.S. licensed physicians with research-backed ingredients like zinc and lecithin. It's targeted for semen volume, sperm health, and yep, the taste. Think bigger, better, tastier confetti.
Confetti. And it's not some mystery potion. VB Health makes everything in the USA in an FDA-registered CGMP certified facility. Every batch is tested by 2 separate third-party labs, and they publish those results. Who does that? VB Health, because their supplements work.
People love VB Health. Over 90% leave a 4 or 5-star review. Plus, there's a 100-day money-back guarantee for new customers. Now that's confidence.
Translation: your swimmers get support, your finish gets flair, and your partner gets pleasantly surprised. VB Health creates supplements that work, and Load Boost proves it.
So, want to leave your partner speechless? Then get a supplement that really works. Go to loadboost.com and use code shameless for 10% off, or click the link in the episode description. Loadboost.com and code shameless. I want to switch gears a little bit because I think it's important to talk about. So I don't know if it ties into the Girls Gone Wild stage, because I don't remember how old you said you were when you were experiencing that casting call and then were out there. And I don't know if these two things are related. However, I was wondering about these days of being maybe under 18. And I don't know if that's when you were in Girls Gone Wild. I'm assuming you have to be 18.
21. I was
Okay,
20.
okay.
To go into the bars, I think you had to be 21.
That's what I was wondering, because people flashing their tits, I remember that. And and buying the videos. That guy made so much money. I don't remember his name, but I know he was like
Joe Francis.
Yes. I know. I don't know if he was in the billionaire club,
targeting all the colleges, right?
Yeah. He was loaded and could do whatever the fuck he wanted. So let's talk about the experiences that you want to share that you had when you were maybe under 18, the under 18, I don't know, or maybe 21?
20, 21.
Okay.
I feel like.
So you weren't under 18, thankfully. Okay.
I graduated college early. I don't know. Is there a difference really? Those ages are so baby when you see it.
You could drive a car when you're 21.
Yes.
You could vote when you're 18.
I just see everyone under 25 and I'm like, oh my God, you're just like not even fully formed clay yet.
But let's do under 21 or 21, whatever you want, Courtney. Okay. This is you talking to us about what you feel comfortable enough. And also there's good. I'm sure there's some good. I'm sure there's some bad. I'm sure there's some ugly, like what Clint Eastwood movie. What was that? I'm going to whistle that theme song eventually. So can you talk about those pieces that shaped you that you want to share with our audience so they can get to know more about Courtney and who you are?
You want to dive into those early formative experiences?
Yeah. And hopefully you weren't under 18, or maybe you were. I don't know. I have that in the notes, the 18 and under. So I was like, ooh.
I'm not going to say I had a perfect under 18, but really I was kind of a late bloomer in that way. Like I waited to have sex until I was 18 because I was just super focused on my goals and I didn't want to, I had seen people get pregnant before and I was like, I just want to make sure that I stay on my path. But then I hit 18 and I was like, I'm going to go to Planned Parenthood. I'm going to get my birth control, get my Depo-Provera shot, and I'm going to start drinking and I'm going to do all this stuff. So yeah, that's really when I started wilding out. And then, I went to school. I was studying to be an actor. I wanted to get done with school as fast as possible. So I was like ripping through it. I graduated in 2.5 years. And then I was like, I was such a goal-driven person that I was like, okay, now what? And in those last, kind of like my last year of college, I was in this abusive relationship. I later had his abortion. And so I write about that in the book. That was really formative. And he was my first boyfriend. So I didn't really, and I'd always thought like, I'm like a strong person. Like that kind of thing would not happen to me. And then first relationship, I get into this dynamic that's like, not good. And I think that's a common experience.
It is. Although some people have it the second, third relationship too, right? But it's like, it's a common experience to have a relationship like that for sure. Yeah.
Well, especially in lots of women who think that they wouldn't fall into that. So it's like equal opportunity kind of situation. So that was super formative. Then after we went through a breakup, I was doing theater at this summer stock theater that was near my hometown. And I don't know if there was it was one time where I was like, did I get date raped? But regardless, I was drinking vodka Red Bulls.
Oh God.
I know.
Speedballing.
I think I maybe only had like 2, but still. But I mean, I'm so sorry, but I think your audience can handle this. But I was with another guy that night and we went home to stay at this other guy's cabin. And I like blacked out, like was not conscious. And 4 days later, but when I woke up, I was like, this is weird. And he said we had sex. And I was like, wait, what? And then I basically gave birth to a tampon.
Oh no.
Shit. And I was like,
4 days later.
That's like
toxic shock syndrome.
I know. That would never, I mean, I don't care how drunk I've been.
That's a consent thing.
That's a consent thing. Yeah. Like I didn't consent. I was asleep. I've had a similar
experience with this where like similar experience where the reason why I know it wasn't consensual was because I had to fish out a tampon from the back, like near my cervix. Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I knew it wasn't consensual. When I woke up, I knew it wasn't consensual, but I was like, did I the first thing you do is blame yourself and think about what did I do and blah, blah, blah. But then when I found that, I was like, wait, I would never in a million years, like, I don't care what else. I've been very drunk other times and I remember to take out my tampon. Like, so anyway, that was horrific. I had another thing that similar, but I didn't write about it in the book. And then, I wind up doing the Girls Gone Wild tour. I come back from that tour and I went back to the Midwest because I was like disoriented about just life and how I was going to pursue my career. And I was just really lonely. I've never been depressed like that in my life. And so I hook up with that guy that had been abusive and then, wind up getting pregnant. And he's like the absolute worst person. I couldn't even trust him to tell him. And it was also a thing, like, there was so much shame. I grew up Catholic and there was so much shame around it for me that I just like couldn't even talk about it out loud for like over 2 years. I could not tell another person. I would hear a reference to abortion or something. Like there's a Ludacris song that has a verse about little Erica or whatever. I would cry. I would bawl my eyes out every time I heard that. So it's really, I think, powerful now to be able to talk about it. So, like it's not a problem. There's no shame associated, but there really was at that point in my life. So those are my formative experience, some of my formative experience. And then there was other stuff like I'm trying to be an actress. Literally everyone wants me to get naked. Then people post stills from the art films that I did, the independent films that I did, and post them on Mr. Skin. Do you guys remember that site?
No.
Mr. Skin was kind of a consent violation too, though I guess you did agree to be naked in a movie. But anyway, he would post, or he or whoever was behind this site.
Mr. Skin was.
Whoever Mr. Skin was would post, stills from those movies on a site. And when I didn't care. I like being naked. I'm kind of an exhibitionist. And so I didn't think through it, but like I got this teaching job in my early 20s for these kids that were going to become doctors. I got fired from that job because these kids found my Mr. Skin pictures on the internet.
Oh, you're one of those teachers. You're that teacher. That's so cool. That's so cool that you're that teacher.
It was not cool because I was going to make
but now
money.
It's cool. Yeah, but then it wasn't. Yeah.
But yeah, there was all kinds of experiences like that are in the book and were really formative.
Yeah.
For better or worse.
No wonder. Yeah. Girl Gone Wild
worse.
there. Yeah. Okay. And so these are pieces of yourself, whatever age you were at, that have shaped you and, set your life. And you grew up in the Midwest, Catholic, right? Wasn't super open and progressive. We get that question a lot. Like, how did you guys get into this? Like talking openly about sex and like, how is this happening? We all have different, we have different stories. April and I have different stories from each other. And so I want to bring this to something that you said. I don't remember exactly what you said. I mean, I know that we're kind of talking a bit about some slut shamey stuff here too. The too muchness, right? You're too much. You're showing too much. You're too slutty. Your skirt's too short. I know that's like the classic example. What have you learned from all of this and beyond and maybe this is already in your memoir? What have you learned and what advice would you give to people who have been told that they are too much? And let's say specifically when it comes to sexuality, and it doesn't have to be gendered.
Oh my God. Yes. What I really got from, growing up, I guess in general, and writing this book, and what I hope people get out of it is like a sense of liberation and realizing that like whatever your mistakes are and whatever path you have gone down, like it's okay. It's all okay. It's okay to be who you are. And so I feel like sexuality wise, it's just like, embrace it. Life is so short. We get this one chance. And like, if you want to have a happy ending massage and like no one's getting hurt, no one's being trafficked, like that's an amazing experience. I was late to, I read about this too, but I was late to sex. I had an early kind of shameful experience around masturbation. And so I came into like sex toys kind of late. And when I came into it, I came hard.
Wait, what's late, Courtney?
She came hard.
Like late, almost 30.
Oh, that is,
wow.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But so I like went to, and I was now in this new era of like, I'd always been in these, I was a serial monogamist. And so I was like, I'll date I'll get my dick that way, great. And then I got to this point where I was like really happy being single and like having great relationships with my girlfriends. And I was like, I don't necessarily need this. And like, I don't even have to find someone to hook up. I can just pleasure myself. And then I discovered I could make myself squirt, which was incredibly just like powerful in that I can give myself that kind of pleasure. So I guess I would say, I mean, it's really broad, but it's like experiment, be open to it. Don't take on the shame that comes from other people. I've really learned to separate like what's stuff that deserves shame. Ice in Minnesota, that is shameful. things that my experiences, especially the ones that were forced on me kind of, that's not shameful. Or like, I don't need to hang on to that. That doesn't belong to me. Mm-hmm. And so letting go of that and, allowing yourself to explore these other possibilities in life, that is a beautiful thing.
Mm-hmm. Fact. Most pussy owners need some sort of clitoral stimulation to orgasm, and many are not having orgasms from penetrative sex.
Say what?
I know, right? This is one of the many reasons why we are obsessed with OMG Yes. Not only has it changed our lives in the orgasm department, but I've been recommending OMG Yes to my clients for years, and it's completely changed their sex lives as well. OMG Yes features scientific research of real vulva owners, aka women, showing techniques to pleasure the pussy. They turn the research into tasteful, educational short videos, animated modules, and infographics for easy visual learning.
They call it OMG Yes for a reason, because OMG Yes is for anyone who wants to learn about pussy pleasure or take it to the next level. Whether you're a beginner or someone who wants to take your orgasms from good to mind-blowing, then you need to check out OMG Yes. They have 3 seasons: external pleasure, internal pleasure, and sex toys. It's not a subscription service, y'all, so you don't need to download a single thing. And it's great for partners who want to pleasure that pussy too. And for listeners of our show, OMGS is offering 10% off when you go to omgyes.com/shameless. Again, that's omgyes.com/shameless to receive 10% off unlimited access towards enhancing your pleasure power forever. Newsflash, everybody. We are picky about our lubes.
Can we say uber picky?
Yes, we can. And let me tell you all why Uber Lube is our absolute favorite lube ever. Uber Lube is a luxurious silicone lubricant that I want all over my body. Yes, it's designed for sex because it enhances intimacy while allowing you to still feel the skin-on-skin contact, but it feels so good that I want it everywhere. Uber Lube is long-lasting, leaves your skin feeling velvety smooth, and it's there when you want it, but then it dissipates when you're done.
Yes. Aside from using Uber Lube for all of my sexy sessions, and I use it all the time, I also use it for massages, for my hair frizzies, to prevent chafing, and it brings out the color of your beautiful tattoos. Thousands of doctors and therapists in the US alone are recommending Uber Lube to their patients because it's body-friendly, less likely to change the pH, and has vitamin E, so it feels moisturizing on the skin. Uberlube has no flavor or scent, which means it's also great for oral sex. And it comes in a beautiful glass bottle with a pump top, which means easy access to Pleasure Town.
Want to see why we think Uberlube is the best lube in the world? Then go to uberlube.com and use discount code SHAMELESS to get 10% off and free shipping. Again, that's uberlube.com right now with code SHAMELESS for 10% off and free shipping. On our show at one point, we had someone on that talked about making your shame sexy. I feel like that's like taking the power back. And that's always, I think, with a lot of women, and this isn't just a gendered thing, but speaking as a woman to another group of women here, I think you can relate where there's always this, you're too much or you're not enough, right? Or you need to speak out more. Quiet women never change the world kind of thing. And then you kind of get scolded in the paradigm of being a woman is you get into this place of power. Like I'm an executive at a sex toy company. It's like, oh, I'm with men all the time in a world. And it's like, April, you don't talk about your nails in a group of men, or you don't talk about your pussy in a group of men when I'm like not talking about like my orgasms, but I'm like, well, I have a vulva and we're making vulva toys. So I'm going to talk about this is not going to work for a fucking vulva owner out there. And it's like, no, you're being too much. But then April, why didn't you speak up enough? You have and it's like, where the fuck is the line of it being, I'm just me. So I was wondering if you have advice for people, you're not enough people. Because I know that there's got to be something there as well.
You're not enough. Don't try to fit in the box. The box is such bullshit. And I feel like on the too much side, it's really like being too much is what threatens the patriarchy. So that's what I feel like that pushback is all about. Oh no, we need you to be more like this because then it's easier for us to get away with shit like the Epstein files and all that kind of stuff. Like if you're speaking up for yourself, like what are we going to do about our shit, And then on the not enough, no one's ever accused.
You've never been like I've always been
fine.
too much. You're like, I'm used to too muchness, not enough.
I'm very much used to too much, but I think be yourself, whatever feels natural for you. And some of the best ways to do that are like journaling. I had a really solid journaling practice when I was really going through a bunch of relationship stuff and just trying to figure out who I was in my late 20s and early 30s. And I would shudder to look back at some of those journals, but like, and it's not like the writing is good, but it put me in conversation with myself and my own shit and like what I really wanted. And so that was super powerful. Just finding yourself through, I write about this amazing therapist I had, and really the amazing therapist just told me things that I already knew. But sometimes you need someone to like parrot that back to you at a crucial time. And, going on walks, whatever it takes to like find yourself. But as far as what other people deem too much or not enough, I feel like that's really about them, and that's really about societal structures. And so the more that you can parse through by whatever means necessary, your meditation, journaling, therapy, whatever it is to you, the more that you can figure out like what belongs to other people and what belongs to you, that is where you find your power, and you can just know like I'm actually the perfect amount.
And not fitting into a fucking box. I think nowadays it's so great that being yourself. I love that advice. And that sounds so simple. It's just be you. But it's so hard to do because if you're scrolling on IG or you're scrolling on TikTok and you're like, whoa, how come I can't do that TikTok move, those dances? Well, because maybe you can do a shit ton of other things that are way cooler. Yeah. And I think embracing that, like Amy and I embrace our weird, I think the older we get, I'm like, wow, we get weirder sometimes with age. And that's not a bad thing.
It's not sometimes.
Like, but I'm like, we're silly as fuck and we just have fun. And I think now neither of us, right? Amy used to try to straighten her hair, remember back in the day? And you're like, why did I ever try to do that? It would take 4 hours. And I'm like, yeah, you have great hair. You don't need to fit into a mold. She's like, Yeah. It's something simple like that. And yeah, I think that I love that advice. Just be yourself. I love that.
I also feel like, we're going into this age of AI, and it's like, yeah, our quirky weirdness. It's almost like too, the cool kids in high school who are kind of predictable and whatever. It's like your weirdness with you two, your delicious sexual weirdness and all these other quirks. Like, this is what makes you successful. This is why people love listening to your podcast. And so, yeah, embracing those things and not trying to be, I am like allergic to the idea of cool. I think the coolest people in the world are just people that are doing their own thing, whatever that is all about.
I agree totally. Yeah, you're not trying to conform, and conform is an interesting thing with sexuality too, because there's conform and there's compromise, right? So like conform outside of sexuality, just in society, is an issue, right? You don't know who you are. You're maybe exhausted or feel a lot of pressure by putting on a presentation. You feel disconnected, blah, blah, blah. And then I think that can connect with compliance, or like, conforming and then complying in sexuality. Again, like, how do you have the best orgasms or the most connected sex if you're not, dropped into yourself? And yourself might be someone that society has said too much, or a partner said that, or said not enough. And also trick question, too much, not enoughness. They kind of can have the same feeling and answer for everyone. Because like the ways that I've felt, maybe been told or felt I'm too much, you could actually switch it up to look at it as it actually is not enoughness, right? You're not enough normal, you're not enough.
Yes.
Right. Isn't that interesting that like how confusing it is? And they're all come to like a worthiness thing.
Also, people love to use it as like, the opposite, like the Sydney Sweeney backlash, where they'll like debate if she's pretty enough. It's like, she's gorgeous.
That can't be a debate. That is like ridiculous.
Waste of time.
Let's debate if the sky is blue or not as well. Come
or
on.
maybe she's not your type, but that's
exactly.
not. Yeah. And who cares about what you think, right? Sometimes I'm like, I don't give a fuck about your opinion. It's just like your opinion, man.
What do you all think? Just a question. This is such a tangent, but I've heard people say, if we're stressed out about politics in the world, that we stop. Have you heard the movement stop paying attention to famous people? Have you heard about this yet?
No, but I already do that, so I'm in the movement.
Okay, so like stop paying attention to famous people. Like, why are you giving them so much light? Why do you care so much? I was like, well, no, I don't really care. It's just really interesting. Like, well, you seem like you care because like, your heart's racing, you're sweating a lot, and you can't stop talking about it.
It's like social media. We're all into each other's brains like a little too much. I think a little mystery might be a good thing.
Yeah, we are not the era of mystery right now. Yeah,
No.
for sure. Yeah, it's just going to continue to grow. Well, speaking of mysteries, your book, Solve the Mystery. So if someone was going to read your book, what will they get? Like, what will they leave with? But I'm envisioning with what you've shared already, like inspiration, excitement, entertainment. But yeah, what do you think people will leave with when they read your memoir?
Yeah, well, I hope it reads like a novel, and it's fun and it's funny, but it's also really poignant. And I've been doing I held the audiobook rights. So I'm making my audiobook like myself right now.
Love
because
that.
I was like,
brilliant.
Like you guys too. It's like, we know how to make a podcast. Like, who's going to make an audiobook better than me? Probably about me. Probably no one. So anyway, I'm reading through it now, and it's actually such a delight, I have to say. I probably shouldn't say that about my own book, but I'm having such a good time, and it's like the perfect way to put it to bed. So yeah, I think you're going to get a multifaceted experience out of it. You're going to have some laughs. You're probably going to have some cries. You're going to probably be put back in touch with like the tenderest parts of yourself, and accept. I've really like accepted the versions of myself that I maybe was trying to like bury for a long time, and I've been able to embrace them, and that's a beautiful outcome. And yeah, I hope it leaves people feeling liberated to be whoever they are.
I remember when you were actually, I got a flashback while you were talking, because when we were writing our book, you had reached out to us and asked us just for some advice almost. And we're like, yo, let me tell you, it's difficult, but you are just an incredible writer as it was. And so I'm so proud of you, because that was I think that was like, was that 4 years ago?
I think so.
I think it was like 4 years ago. And so it means that clearly you've taken a lot of time and effort, and you have all of this content that you beautifully packaged into this Girl Gone Wild book that's going to be out April 2026. You have to pre-order.
April 1st.
April 1st. Oh, April Fool's Day.
It's not a joke, though. It's
not a joke. But I was like, how many other people are brave enough to?
Probably no one other than you. Yeah.
I hope that you're the only one and you're a New York Times bestseller, because people out there listening, if you are listening to this, tell your friends. Let Amy and I tell you, and I'll speak for her because I know that she feels the same way. Pre-ordering a book from authors is the most important part of what they need to release their book, because it gives the momentum that the book needs to be a success, but it allows for the author to feel supported by the publisher and for their work to actually take off. So spend the extra effort and go and buy the book, and Courtney will tell us where you can get it, and pre-order it though. Pre-order. Don't hesitate. And don't be like, oh, I'll do that later. Do it right now as you're listening to this, and go to where Courtney tells you to go. And you spell her name Kocak, Kocak, Courtney Kocak, just like it sounds. And I'm sure that you can also listen to Private Parts Unknown, which I'd love to tell our audience where they can find your podcast and listen to your podcast. But first, the book. Everybody listen right now. Listen.
You guys are the best. I fucking love you so much. But yeah, you can get the book. Hey, listen, you want to shop at the bad place? You want to shop at Amazon? They won't even bill you. They won't even bill you until the book comes out. So you don't even have to pay for it right now. You just have to place your order.
Never even happened.
Yeah. Bookshop.org. Even better, Barnes & Noble. You want to request it from your bookstore? Sure, that's fine. But make it easy for yourself. Just place the order. And oh my God, it really does mean so much. It's like a social proof signal. You guys know that. And it's kind of a game changer for a book if it has a good first week, which is what pre-orders do. So I appreciate anyone who takes the leap and wants to hear about everything from abortion to squirting.
I'm sold already.
Entertainment. And what about Private Parts Unknown? You're still creating.
I'm still creating. You guys have been on the show twice. Check out the archives for those episodes. They're so good. I've had so many incredible conversations on the show and some fun travel episodes. And you can find that wherever you get podcasts. You can also check out the website, privatepartsunknown.com.
Yeah. So proud of you and all you do. You are such an inspiration to not only us, but I think our listeners are going to just love this. I can't wait to read your book. I'm assuming you're going to send us copies that are signed before that.
I've got 2 right here with your names on them.
What is it?
Can I say one more thing?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, this is sort of weird, but for any writers in the house, I'm doing this pre-order campaign where if you buy 10 copies, you get to take a 5-week memoir class with me. There's 2 sessions a week. It's going to be so fun. It's like I'm giving my best tips that I learned on this 15-year journey, basically, to write this book.
Yeah.
And so if anyone feels called and is interested in writing their own memoir, check out my website, courtneykocak.com/teaching, and all the info is on there.
Yeah, you can gift it to all your friends. You have all the, when you show up to like a birthday or whatever, you don't have a gift. You always have a gift, and then you get to go learn how to write your memoir.
I love
Christmas
that.
is covered.
Yeah.
Christmas
Easter.
is covered.
I don't know. Hanukkah.
All of the Amy's birthdays.
My
coming,
birthday.
So buy Amy 10 copies, everyone. So thank you, Courtney. Thank you. And I can't wait to read this book. Everybody out there, go pre-order Girl Gone Wild. Don't wait. Order 10 copies and support your creators out there, people that are making not only entertainment, informative art, but they're not using AI to do it. I know that Courtney didn't use AI for sure. She's way too creative and good for that.
Did I ask it a few questions about grammar? Sure, but it did not write my book.
We didn't. So actually, when we wrote our book, just saying, we didn't. That was not available. AI. That was we missed it by like a year.
You never trust any sex
nice
advice from AI, by the way. They can't get figure bagged.
Or on to.
Oh yeah,
on to. Oh yeah. Me trying to spell the word definitely can never be done. I definitely can't.
Defiantly.
Yes, still can't. Still won't be able to do it. Anyway, so everyone listening out there, definitely rate our show, Shameless Sex. It helps more people find beautiful content creators and authors like Courtney Kocak, and it helps people be humans gone wild or girl gone wild. And we need more of that in the world. There's way too much pain and suffering and bullshit. So let's embrace the beauty and the creativity every day.
Too muchness. More.
Be too much. Be everything that you are out there. And we love our listeners. Thank you for being part of this shameless sex journey. Almost a decade in the making. I'll get teary-eyed for saying that, but it's true. We get younger with age, everybody. Younger with age and brighter and smarter. Just kidding. Also, just one more shout out. Amy's birthday is coming. And so it's February 27th, everyone. So give Amy some love. Go follow her, Amy at Shameless Sex. She's Amy Shameless Sex on Instagram. And she's amazing. And I'm so happy that she was born February 27th, last day of February, except if it's a leap year. And all right, Courtney, love you so much.
Love you. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you, babe. All right. We'll see you next Tuesday. Ciao for now.
To learn more, go to shamelesssex.com.
And for 15% off some of our favorite sex toys, use code SHAMELESSSEX at purepleasureshop.com.